Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. That means once again we have AEW Dynamite. It features John Moxley versus Dax Harwood. As you know, FTR stepped up the plate to take on BCC. This is going to be a very interesting match. Two hard hitters. This is going to be a slobber knocker, as JR would say. We also got, of course, many other matches. The Young Bucks take on Top Flight. And then, of course, we have a death match between Orange Cassidy and Matt Taven, and plenty other matches as well. But first things first, we do have, of course, a Stardom with their recent event on February 11th with in Fuji. We do have some prelude matches prior before the next pay-per-view, and that's going to be something we're definitely going to be talking about, and very interesting things taking place as well. And then, of course, we cap it up with some news updates, with, of course, updates with the promotions, what events are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, and developments that have been happening throughout the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome, everybody, to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about the various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on a separate video by itself. We also do real timing news updates to keep updates on the world of pro wrestling once the news comes out. Also, we do this United Sayaka Watch and various other cool things as well. But if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Excuse me. Now, let's begin with Stardom with their much recent show that took place on the 11th of February in Fuji. It opened up with tag team action. We got Sayaka Kurara teaming up with, of course, Mai Sakurai to take on members from Stars, more specifically Yuzuki and Saya Ida, who is one half of the New Blood Tag Team titles. However, recently we have witnessed Mai Sakurai, who's issued a challenge towards the New Blood Tag Team champions, Hanan and Saya Ida. Hana made it perfectly clear that she was a bit too late. As you know, she graduated after her 3-year experience has ended, but however, she's proceeded for these belts now that everything has changed for her, losing the artist belts and, of course, DDM dissolving. But the match itself went again where we saw the rookies themselves, Yuzuki and Kurara, faced off each other. But it was, of course, Yuzuki once again with the rolling arrow that picked up the win. However, Mai Sakurai continued with her promo issuing the challenge, so they said they'll do it at Corkin Hall. And of course, Mai Sakurai, who demanded the Stars, who are the winners, to leave, even though she's being all demanding. And then she tells people that the following day will be the homecoming of Kurara. Now, our next match, we have a 3-way match. We have Lady C versus Momo Watanabe and versus Mirai. Now, there's nothing significant about this match, but however, we did see a little bit of what's happening. Lady C has grown up and grown up, but however, she's been unable to pick up a very good decisive win. However, of course, Momo Watanabe was gonna pick up the win when she applied the beat driver onto Lady C to pick up the win. Our next match, we have the Cosmic Angels, more specifically Yuna Mizumori and Tam Nakano, taking on Empress Nexus Venus, or EXV, consistent of Waka Tsukiyama and Maika. So this is a very interesting match. Now keep in mind, Maika was the one who first nominated Tam Nakano for a challenge for the red belt. However, Tam made it clear that she'll probably, since her return, that she'll be proceeding for the red belt once again and start chapter 2. So we'll see. But the match itself was great. However, it was, of course, Mizumori who ended up on the wrong side of the Enka Otoshi by Maika to pick up the win. So that gives them the win, and that pretty much solves it all. But however, Maika's confident that she'll beat her once and for all. I don't think Maika has ever beaten Tam Nakano, but we'll see what happens. Our next match, we have God's Eye, consistent of Rana Yamagami, Saki Kashima, Amisuri, and of course Shuri, taking on God's Eyes, Miyu Amasaki, um, Azumi, Saika Mitami, and Utami Ayashida. Match, no significant storylines of this match, but however, you can tell that there was the best moments, of course, is Miyu Masaki, who, as you know, is still somewhat of a junior rookie or something, or whatever, has picked. It's been determined to pick up wins. How she picked up the win when she applied the Tensei onto Yagami to pick up the win. Next up, as you know, we have the other members of EXV, Hanako, the returning Xena, and of course Mina Shirakawa taking on star members Hanan, Azuki, and Mayu Iwatani. Now, Mina Shirakawa issued the challenge towards, of course, Mayu Iwatani and all this and that. However, as you know, this is Xena's big return. We haven't seen her since last year at some point in the spring. As you know, many members of what was Club Venus were leaving because they're foreign wrestlers who had to go back to their respective places. But it was, of course, Xena who picked up the win with the Thunderstruck onto Azuki. However, during the post match, Mina has given a strong promo with the return of Xena, but also issued the challenge that she will be the the savior of Stardom once she beats Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's title. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, our main event features Oedo Tai's Raka, Starlight Kid, and Natsuko Tora taking on Crazy Stars, Suzuki, Mei Sita, and of course, Julia. Now, this match, as you know, there was no significant storylines, but it was a pretty good match. Of course, Oedo Tai doing their usual tactics, as always, trying to soften up their opponents. Now, Julia has always been a strong wrestler, as you may have noted. But however, she was no match for Natsuko Tora. Natsuko Tora had dealt with Julia in the past, but this time she picked up the win with the Swanton Bomb. However, Natsuko Tora issued a challenge for the New Japan Strong Women's title, but however, Julia has not gladly said yes or no. So basically, she has been issuing a challenge no matter what. But I don't know if Julia's been ignoring her, but we'll see what happens until then. So I think that's pretty much it what we have for Stardom. Let's move on with AEW Dynamite. Okay, AEW Dynamite. It opened up with John Moxley versus Dax Harwood. Now remember, a week ago, uh, BCC has defeated, of course, members of the CML roster, but they issued a challenge against anybody who's willing to step up. And the team that stepped up are another hard-hitting tag team, and that is, of course, FTR. So you probably would think this is going to be a slobber knocker, a match. Yes, you know they're going to hit hard. You know they're going to try to use a bit of the technical aspects in this match. So, however, you know that Moxley is a raging animal the way he fights, and so will be Dax Harwood. But unfortunately, of course, Dax Harwood did not pick up the win as soon as, of course, Moxley applied a chokehold and then picked up the win. However, Moxley decided to refuse to let go of the chokehold, but Cash Wheeler showed up to help out, and then of course Claudio Castagnoli showed up and involved. Then Moxley decided to continue more with choking Dax Harwood. You probably would think this would lead to war between the BCC and FTR, but however, very soon BCC will be heading to Mexico to take on CML's best in the ring. So we'll see where that leads us from here on out. Now, as you know, Don Callis' family saying they're on the roll. They're saying all this and that. However, Don Callis, that little piece of garbage, goes out of his way to saying that no one wants to face Takeshita. So he decided that he's going to put Will Ospreay in a match against Takeshita. However, you would say, is that even wise coming from him? I mean, to put in that. But he also indicated saying that people are going to forget about Sting's retirement because they think this is going to be the biggest moment. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But the real question I ask myself, what does Will Ospreay think about this? But we'll see. Now, our next match we have Warlow taking on Barrett Brown. If you guys don't know who he is, he made appearances in New Japan Strong and all this, part of the Stray Dogs. Uh, haven't seen him for quite some time. But I can tell you that Warlow manhandled him by applying many moves onto him. First the knockout, then the power bomb, and then 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now our next match is the TNT title in a number one contendership. Daniel Garcia and Christian Cage. This match was good. I mean, you look at Daniel Garcia, who's been on the roll, who has been showing what he's made of. Of course, you can tell by from what Daddy Magic has been saying during the commentary section for a while. But he's facing an absolute legend. You would think that they'll try to outdo each other in every way possible. But however, Christian Cage, along with the rest of his goon squad, showed up. Now, of course, Tony Schiavone was right. He's too much of a coward to face anybody. To face anybody who's a threat to him. That include Garcia and Adam Copeland. So he tried. Daddy Magic tried to intervene from letting, of course, Christian Cage to hurt Daniel Garcia, and then of course Edge tried to get himself some. But however, Shayna Wayne, Nick's mother, got low blowed him. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another triple threat match between Christian Cage, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Copeland, which is like a similar situation that we're witnessing with the AEW World Title. Now, speaking of Joe Samoa Joe, he's not in a happy mood. The happy mood that has went away because he was not happy with the results of what happened last week. The recap is we did have a number one contendership match that ended in a time limit draw. However, Samoa Joe had pictured another idea. He thought that this match will end and they have to start from the back. However, for some odd reason, this match went into a triple threat instead. Even Swerve Strickland, who thinks that he doesn't take things personal, but even though he does, he is determined to win the title. But however, Hangman Adam Page was upset how this thing has went on. Now keep in mind, he and Samoa Joe do have some valid points about the fact is no one won that match. This match should not even happen. But however, because of both of these guys bickering from because of their past issues, Samoa Joe made it clear that none of these two will walk out from Revolution as the TNT, I mean, as the AEW World Champion. So we'll see what happens because I do know certain people have been speaking on social media that do believe Samoa Joe will walk out as the AEW World Champion. Now, Tony Storm, as you know, has been in a bit of a, how do I say, wants to erase her past and forget that it ever happened. Her relationship and friendship with Deonna Purrazzo, she decided to do something about the tattoo that's on her ankle. Decided to change it up a bit. However, Deonna Purrazzo was a bit disappointed in her, but at the same time annoyed that she's pretending that she's something that she's not. So she did call her that she'll break her arm off. So that is something we probably will see. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, our next match, we have the Young Bucks versus the Top Flight brothers versus brothers. Very interesting dynamic, which it's not uncommon. We've seen that with the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks and all this other stuff. However, as you know, the Young Bucks has been making a statement, but a disgusting statement by taking their EVP status way too far. Not to mention last week attacking Sting. Not to mention attacking Sting and Darby Allin. But however, the match was pretty good. However, but unfortunately, um, Nicholas Jackson in distracted the ref while Matthew Jackson low blowed Darius and then applied the EVP triggers. Nicholas picked up the win by pinfall. However, Tony Schiavone had no other choice but to ask for post-match comments and all this. But then later, the Bucks were intending to hurt Schiavone, but luckily Darby Allin showed up. Darby Allin decided to say what was the mission statement of AEW, and of course, he's saying that he wasn't even part of the first AEW show. He said Brandon Cutler was. But he also said another phrase that we've seen from Sting. It's showtime. Yep, it is showtime. That means it's on. Now, Renee Paquette applied a interview with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. However, it seems that things are going well for them. But however, Jay White made one fantastic point. They haven't seen yet the cohesion between both sides. So Billy Gunn came up with the solution. Well, Austin tried to intervene and get involved in it, but he did state it. Why not a 12-man tag title? A 12-man tag team match. I mean, it would help with the dynamic of both sides, how it would work, and of course, and they will take this place in Rampage. So I kind of asked myself, okay, who are the 6 lucky participants to take on the Bang Bang Sister Gang? Well, good luck. Now, our next match, we have Willow Nightingale versus her former friend Sky Blue. Now, as you know, Sky Blue went to the dark side after Julia Hart missed her face. But for some odd reason, Sky Blue and Julia Hart made their play against play towards Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. Now, keep in mind, they thought that this was over between them, but for some odd reason, they decided to get involved. Even Stokely was noticing too. Now, you would have assumed that this match was definitely go with Sky Blue because of her evil ways, but thank God for Stokely Hathaway, who decided to stand up for Willow Nightingale by distracting the ref, giving Sky Blue the moment not to get pick up the win, but allowed for Willow Nightingale to apply the Doctor Bomb, and 1, 2, 3 is over. I wouldn't be surprised if Sky Blue decides to attack Stokely Hathaway. Now, our main event, a Texas Death Match. Orange Cassidy versus Matt Taven. You know there's going to be a lot of plunder, a lot of sharp objects. We saw thumbtacks, chairs, everything. Not to mention, we did see, of course, Mike Bennett try to get involved. So is Trent Beretta, even Roderick Strong. But Roderick Strong failed to try to take out Orange Cassidy. But Orange Cassidy applied a, how do I say, a orange punch with chains, knocking out Matt Taven. But this match ended by a knockout, a KO, but after 10 seconds. So I thought the event was pretty good. I liked it. It was really fun. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen on Rampage, then on Collision. But for right now, let's move on with our last and final thing, and that is news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin with updates with the promotions themselves. The first one is from All Japan Pro Wrestling. On February 20, they announced that the All Japan Junior Heavyweight title will be defended. Dan Tamura, who is our current champion, he defends it against Fuminori Abe. Now, there's a note saying on this one that Fubinori hasn't competed for the junior heavyweight title since 2021, but it's great that he'll be once again competing for this as well, from what I've been hearing. Now, Jersey Championship Wrestling for their Madness on the 10th of March. They announced for the tag team main event will be there Jay Lyons and Midas Black, Charles Mason, who I can't stand, Hunter Mecca will be there. So yes, so more names have been signed for this. Now for the Delirious Show collab between both West Coast Pro and the United Wrestling Network on the 12th of March, they announced Titus Alexander will take on Lee Moriarty. Now, an interesting development has been happening. Now, Kitsune Women's Wrestling recently had some dilemmas regarding talent that are unable to make it. Now, he did, as you know, he mentioned certain wrestlers that will be coming by here. Now, Mayuhiki Saki, and I forgot who else. Apparently, they were booked to be in the on the upcoming event on the 24th of March, but however, they were notified by Sukeban, which is the American Yoshi promotion, letting them know that they cannot be participating because it's a career threatening. Now, these ladies, and specifically, do have permission to go to America to compete under the banner of Sukeban. However, the promoter did say that he understands and he agrees that if that's the whole thing is going on, he is willing to respect. However, I know he's been dealing with a lot of issues to bring in talent from Japan for these shows, but hopefully he can resolve this in a way that's interesting. So I don't know if any of my subscribers are from the LA area. I'll keep you guys updated on this. GCW has announced for the block is hot. Kevin Blackwood will be participating, and then finally, as you know, we head to Philly in April for WrestleMania week. The Mark Hitchcock Memorial Show has been announced for a match. Rob Van Dam taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. So that's gonna be one hell of a match. Now for some developments going on. If you guys remember former WWE talent Maven, apparently later on the 16th of this month, he'll be speaking about the allegations towards Vince McMahon. Now, I don't know exactly what he'll be talking about, so I'm going to presume that this could be released either on YouTube or somewhere else. So I don't know what Maven has to say, but I will be sticking to it, see what's going to happen. Now, if you guys remember Zilla Fatu, started out to wrestle down with Reality of Wrestling. We don't know what the significance, what happened between both him and Booker T. However, it's now been told that by Zilla Fatu that he reconciled with Booker, and now the stars are aligned. So I don't know what was the reasons for him not being there, but seems that things will work out. I don't know if this has something to do with the allegations towards uh, Rochelle Rose, who's been saying about certain situations taking place in the promotion, but I don't know. And finally, he got kids. Heath Slater has revealed that the WWE called him and he hung up on them. So yes, I don't know what WWE trying to call him for, but it's surprising that he hung up on them. I would have assumed that he probably would like to go back, but seems not. So I think that's pretty much it for all of our news updates. So I believe it's time to call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we have TNA and, of course, Ring of Honor. Now, I have known that there is a self produced show from the GLEAT promotion with Black Generation International. I'll probably be doing that as the part of it. I was intending to use it on this episode, but apparently time ran out due to certain things in my personal life I had to take care of. But I'll do that. Now, I do know we have another Stardom show that has yet to be out, which took place on the 12th. Something interesting has took place that I think many people probably would like. But we'll see. But for right now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. and have a nice day.